Hi, it's Faceless Tech. I've been getting into Gameboy photography, and I've got the awesome HDR dual flash cart on my camera. I was messing around, taking a few photos and stuff, and I kind of noticed that even if the room was like looked quite lit, as soon as you put the Gameboy camera on, it just really you couldn't really pick much stuff up. And then so I was using my phone just as like a bit of a backlight, sort of just to illuminate the scene, but it was kind of a bit too bright. And then I was looking about and I seen the HDR, the same guy that made the flash card. He also made like a built-in sort of like a light ring that went inside a camera, inside the actual lens of the camera, and I thought that was really cool. Went kind of looking for some stuff. He'd released like the board. It was like the sensor board. You replace that sensor board. Added a cap touch chip in there. I thought it was a bit extreme. I kind of wanted to make a bit of a tamer version, and also he didn't release the files for the like LED light ring, the flexible PCB for that. So I kind of like went about reverse engineering my own one. So I'll give you a quick demo. Turn off the lights here. I've got this torch here that I've got in the scene. That's a scene of it as something of reference. I'm using the photo exclamation mark, which is absolutely amazing. As you can see, completely pitch black. I'm going to cap touch the light ring on, and then you can actually see it's picking something up. And this is what it looks like from the front. Right, now I'll give you a demo. I'll give you a bit of a technical insight into it. As you can see, it kind of just looks like a normal camera lens, camera cap on the front. But right, I'll show you. I found the datasheet for this cap touch chip. I kind of made a PCB as well. Made a little like breakout because I was going to just solder to it, but it is absolutely tiny, so I thought I'd sort of break it out. I did make a little mistake with this board, which I'll show you in a minute, because if you look, they've got the pins. It's got a couple of modes that you can have. There's, if you have it on, let's have a look now. There's a few pins, toggle pins. There's this one, toggle type, which I got wrong. I had it default, so it's direct mode, which is not connected to ground, not pulled up, which means that when you just press it, and as you're pressing it, it turns on. But you want to have the toggle mode, so I pulled that high, and that made that work there. You can also have, I've got it as an active low. An active low. So it starts off. You can have it so it starts on, but it's quite a simple chip really. There's the pinouts for it. So I just kind of basically had it in this chip, in this PCB. So it's got like an input and an output, power ground, and then it's got the cap touch, which you connect here. And it's also got like a capacitor because it is quite sensitive. And if you don't want it to be as sensitive, I've left the cap on there. But I've also, the files that I'm going to release for this, they are going to be fixed. So don't worry about that. And then I made a this goes in the camera lens, the front part. You just solder on 7 LEDs and power and ground on the back. This one come back from Osh Park Flex, which is normally really good, but the actual solder mask wasn't exposed on the pads here on the back, which is a bit weird. It's just got a resistor, 220 ohm resistor, and then you just power and ground from out of this. And then I put the cap touch sort of in the front here, so that it's kind of like part of, because when you take the back off, it's not really attached to the back. I know if you look at HDR's videos, he has it in the back there, but I was going to maybe use that for something else. I also had to 3D print this front faceplate, which was the name escapes me, but someone's made the entire sort of Gameboy camera printable files, and I just stole that camera lens from there. Because if you use the standard camera one, the light just does not penetrate through it. Also, whilst I was trying to see if this would work, I kind of made up this little prototype, which is a couple of LEDs, like on a, like homemade, what they call them, microlights, which is just like some magnetic wire with some LEDs on it, just to kind of see proof of concept. It did work. That was only 4 LEDs. It did kind of make a difference, but I've seen that you can fit like 7, and I think HDR's had 7 on his. And there you go. You just slot this in, it just kind of fits in. Everything just all clips together. These you just solder to the points. There's 2 points on the back of the back of the camera connector, power on ground. You just take it from there. It's quite simple really, just use some magnetic wire. I'm also going to release all these files. These will all be available so everyone can kind of have a play around in the community. I don't know if there is going to be, my only issue is that there's going to be some like light bleed into the lens, into the actual sensor itself, because I noticed that sometimes when you're in like a room, like a dark room, and you turn this on, it kind of lights the room up when it shouldn't really, because the throw of the lights shouldn't really, go a couple of meters. I don't know, they might do, but it just seems to be like it's just lighting the sensor up. So maybe we'll have to come up with some kind of like blocking lens or something to it. But other than that, but that's what I mean. I need to get out there into the community and get people to try it, and I think it'd be quite good, nice accessory, and it's quite nice, and because it just looks like a normal camera. Game Boy camera. You don't really, if you weren't really, you can't really tell the font. It is a bit like a bad print lines on that, but you can't really tell. So yeah, as usual, blog post and description with all the files and everything, all that bump. Thanks for watching. Bye.